Every mirror shows a different version of me. I never used to be afraid of mirrors. They were just glass, after all, reflections of reality, nothing more. But that was before I started seeing the others, before I realized the mirrors had their own truth, a truth I wasn't ready to face. It started subtly, as these things always do, a strange flicker in my bathroom mirror as I brushed my teeth, a barely perceptible delay in my reflection when I moved. I told myself it was exhaustion, overwork, stress. Then one morning, my reflection smiled at me. I hadn't smiled. I froze, my toothbrush slipping from my fingers. My reflection, my own face, was grinning. But the rest of me, my real body, was locked in place, my lips unmoving, my chest tightened. I reached up, trembling, and touched my cheek. The thing in the mirror touched its own, mimicking me perfectly. The smile was gone now, but I had seen it. I backed away, never taking my eyes off the glass, my heart pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. Something was wrong. The changes began. At first, I avoided mirrors as much as I could. It wasn't easy. Reflections were everywhere. Windows, polished surfaces, even my phone screen when it dimmed. I started covering the mirrors in my apartment with sheets, but it didn't help. I could feel something watching me, waiting. Then the nightmares started. I'd find myself standing in front of a mirror, unable to move, as my reflection twisted into something wrong. Sometimes it was older, its eyes hollow and sunken. Other times it was disfigured, its mouth too wide, its limbs contorted at impossible angles. And sometimes the reflection wasn't me at all. One night, I dreamed I was brushing my hair, staring into the bathroom mirror. But the woman looking back had jet black eyes and a grin filled with needle-sharp teeth. She whispered something I couldn't understand, but I knew it wasn't friendly. I woke up screaming. I stopped sleeping after that. The worst moment came a few days later. I had no choice but to look in a mirror. I was getting ready for work, and I couldn't keep living in fear of my own reflection. I removed the sheet from my bedroom mirror, my breath unsteady. For a moment, everything seemed fine. My reflection moved when I did. No delays, no eerie smiles. Then it blinked. I hadn't blinked. I stumbled back, but the reflection stayed where it was, staring at me. And then, slowly, it lifted a hand and placed it against the glass. Its lids moved. "Let me out." I screamed and shattered the mirror with the first thing I could grab, a lamp maybe. I don't remember. Shards of glass rained down, reflecting 1,000 fractured versions of me, each one staring, each one smiling. I ran out of the room, gasping, my hands shaking. I wanted to leave, to escape my own apartment, but every surface was a threat. Every shadow held a glint of something reflective. I was trapped. The stranger in my home. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of movement in my apartment. I lived alone. I lay there, heart pounding, listening. Soft footsteps, the rustling of fabric, a faint, almost imperceptible chuckle. Summoning every ounce of courage, I crept out of bed and grabbed the heaviest object I could find, a metal lamp from my nightstand. Holding it like a weapon, I peeked out into the hallway. And there, standing in the dim morning light, was me. But it wasn't me. It was the woman from the mirror. The one with the black eyes. The one with the too wide grin. She tilted her head, watching me with an expression of amusement. "Finally," she whispered, "you're awake." I tried to scream, to run, but my body wouldn't move. She took a step forward, then another, and as she got closer, I realized something horrifying. She wasn't stepping out of the mirror. I was being pulled in. The final reflection. I don't know how long I was falling. One moment, I was in my apartment. The next, I was inside the mirror. The world around me was warped, a distorted version of my home. The furniture was wrong. the walls shifting and twisting like something alive. And then I saw her, the real her, the one that had taken my place. She was standing on the other side of the glass, looking in at me with cold, empty eyes. She raised a hand and waved mockingly. Then, without breaking eye contact, she reached up to her face, and she started peeling it off. I pounded against the glass, screaming, "No, let me out." She only smiled as her skin fell away, revealing something ancient underneath. Something with hollow sockets where eyes should have been. Something that had been waiting in the mirrors for years. Then she turned away, living my life as if I had never existed. I was trapped. I still am. And now, every time you look into a mirror, I wonder, do you see yourself? Or do you see me?